Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Oceanside Guy. My name is Derek, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, we're going to be doing a fun, basic install today. And the install and the how-to is all about this guy right here. This is the Sea-Doo Depth Finder. And we're going to get this installed on my 2023 Sea-Doo GTX 230 today, and I'll give you a very easy, simple, step-by-step on how to get this installed. So it's actually really simple. Well guys, without further ado, let's get started with step number one. Here we go. Let's get started on this how-to. All right guys, as always, step number one is to get the Sea-Doo cover off and the seats right away so we can get started. Here we go. The first thing we got to do, obviously guys, to put the depth finder in is take the back deck off. So we're going to be doing that right now, and then once I get that back deck off, then I'm going to show you exactly where the depth finder is actually going to be put. All right guys, now that the back deck is off, the next step to installing the depth finder is to remove the intake hose, and that's actually pretty simple. All you need is a flathead screwdriver. So let's do that right now. I'll show you where it's at. Here we are inside this machine, and here is what we need to take out, is this intake hose right here. So there is gonna be some clamps right here, some collar clamps, and just a flathead screwdriver is gonna take that off. And we go just to the other side as well. And right here, there's another collar that we're going to be taking off as well. So we just got to remove that with a flathead screwdriver. All right guys, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to start with this one right here. Just get that loosened up. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to catch this one right here. Okay, there we go. That looks good. All right, so this should be loose enough to take out. Get that little bit of rock back and forth. There's one. And let's grab this one. Give it a little support back here. And there's two. Oh, we got the collar too. Here we go. And we got it out of there. Excellent. And it looks like the collar came off, so let's just slip that back on. Slip that back on. There we go. All right. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just check this guy out a little bit. I'm going to clean this out a little bit. So I've got a little bit of oil in there. We'll clean that out so before we put it back. All right. Super simple, guys. That was easy. Okay, guys, that was super simple. The intake hose is out. You can see it was connected here and here. So right down in here in this open spot, which doesn't seem open, but we're going to open that up. That's where the depth finder is going to go and has to be placed just right. So we've got two hoses here. We're just going to move them out of the way. I'll probably end up just undoing, taking this zip tie off and then moving those out of the way. So let's get these hoses out of the way. All right, that'll give us a lot more room to work with. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can move that hose that way. We can move this hose this way a little bit. Okay, so after playing around just a little bit, I definitely have some room, but there's, I think, one more zip tie I want to undo, which is right here holding these two hoses together. I need to pull this hose up just a little bit more out of the way so I can get down there and clean a lot better and make sure I can get the depth finder set. So let's go ahead and just clip that one more zip tie. There we go. Let's see what that does. Oh, perfect. Much more space to use there. Great. All right, so let's go ahead and clean up this area right here. All right guys, so I got the extra hose clipped out of there. Let me show you what I did, because I just needed to move that hose a little bit more and it kept sliding down when I wanted to get in there. So I actually got me a bungee cord and just kind of hoisted up the hose there a little bit to keep it out of the way. Let me show you. So it was this hose right here that just kind of kept going down. So I just grabbed me a little bungee cord, wrapped it around, and just kind of hooked it up here. And it's not super tugging tight or anything. It's very, very loose. So now what we need to do is get this area all prepped and cleaned, ready to go. All right, this is what we need, guys. All right, we got to go ahead and clean the bottom with this really, really good so we can get some good stickage for the depth finder. So let's get that cleaned right away. All right, so I'm going to use this first. I doused it in the alcohol, so I'm going to use this first and then use something later just to make sure it's extra clean. Make sure it's nice and clean. I'm glad I took that other hose off because it gives me more space. That looks good. All right, so I'm just going to be double sure, and I've already doused this in the alcohol, so let's get that cleaned extra good. Here we go. I think I got it. I think that was pretty good. All right. So we got to make sure that dries before we even put the bracket on, so let's just give that a few minutes to dry. All right, guys, here is the bracket. So the bracket is designed to go in one way and one way only. So before we get that in there, we're going to be cleaning up the bottom with that rubbing alcohol, and then we're going to be using a special Loctite design for this job right here to make sure it's sealed permanently and it would never come off. So this is what we're using, is the Loctite marine grade fast curing. Oh yeah. So this is it right here is what we're going to be using. So make sure you have some of this. All right, so let's get to it. Part 2 of the install is going to be our connections that we're going to be using. We've got some zip ties to zip tie and clean everything up at the end. And this is going to be our gel pad, which is going to go on the depth finder itself. Let me show you how the bracket is going to go in there. It can only go one way. So let me show you that now. All right, guys, you will see right here on the bracket that the bracket goes up at a slope, okay? So it has to go this way inside the hull. The top side has to be facing the middle of the ski. So let's go find it a new home. All right, so let's set that bracket in there. Remember, the high side of the bracket goes towards the center of the ski. Okay, so I'm just gonna set it there just for now, and then we're gonna mark it where we want it to be. But just to show you, you'll see that the high side again is towards the center of the ski. So just so you have a better close-up on what this looks like. All right, so here's just the depth finder once again. I'm gonna put it into the bracket while it's outside of the ski, just to show you how it's gonna fit in there. Because we do have to let the bracket sit at least 24 hours before we can start to do this. So let me just show you how this would actually fit in, okay? So the depth finder is gonna go straight down in there like so, and you'll see it matches. So there's only one way for this to go in, okay? You really can't do it wrong. So you're gonna put it in there like so. Okay, and then you're gonna push down on it, which we're not gonna do, which will lock this side and will lock that side completely shut tight, okay? That's how it's gonna go in there. And of course, before it goes in, we need to put the gel pad on there as well too, make sure we clean that up. But that'll be a little bit later. Okay, so I put the bracket here. This is where it's going to be going. I did a little mark there, so you might not be able to see it, but I kind of did a little mark there so I know where to put it in, because we've got to clean the bottom of this and get it prepped ready to go. Okay guys, we're going to clean the bottom of the bracket. Nice and good. Get inside those grooves there. Clean it really good. Double good. I'm gonna clean even just the outsides here too, just to be sure. No harm, right? That looks good. Oh, okay. Next step is to put the Loctite on. Okay, so the directions call for a generous amount. So let's put a generous amount on there. Here we go. Probably be easier if I put it down, right? Let's do that. Okay, does that look generous? Let's do a little bit more. There we go. Okay. That looks generous. I'm very generous. All right, guys, here we go. So we're gonna make sure we have the high side up towards the center of the ski. So let's put that in there. I've got my mark, so hopefully I don't get this everywhere when I bring it down in there. All right, here we go. Okay, this is where we're gonna put it, right about here. Right where the mark is. Good, and I like how the sealant is oozing out, which is good. Because I'm probably gonna do another little seal around it on the edge anyway. So that looks good, so I'm gonna go ahead and press that down in there. Exactly where I want it. So you have a little bit of room to play, so it's not super stuck by any means. As soon as you touch base, you get a nice little squish. All right, so let's check that out. All right, so if you can tell, like I was showing before, the high side is here towards the center of the ski, and then we have the bracket, the locking bracket, here and here, from front to back. So that is perfect. That looks good. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna put a little bit more sealant. Let's see if I can do this, guys. This is pretty tricky. Let's see if we can get this sealant. There we go. Nice. Good bead there. Probably should have wore gloves. Good, that looks good. All right, guys, there it lies in the bottom of the abyss. All we can do now is just wait till that dries. But, so we cannot do this part until that completely cures overnight. So, but I'll just give you a quick glance on where the stuff is gonna go and how we're gonna line it up all the way through the ski and get it where it needs to be finally plugged in. Again, can't do any of that in real time right now, but just to give you a quick glimpse of what's coming up in the next part of the video. We would plug this piece in here, and then we would just run these cables all the way up through here and get them tied off, zip tied. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna unplug this guy right here and then plug the new into that and get everything all situated. Give you details on that in the next part of the video. So all we can do now is watch that thing dry, right? We just gotta wait. Oh, it must be time. Holy smokes, let's check it out. Did it cure? Let's find out. Good. That's definitely not moving, guys. That is on there. Nice. Oh, I'm so excited. So if you found this first part of the video helpful, if it's giving you some really good information, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to turn on your notifications so that the next install that I do that's coming up, or our next ride that we're going on, that you'll be notified of what's coming up next. Okay, so next is we have to get the depth finder ready, and we gotta clean the top of this really quick. with the alcohol once again. And here is the gel pad that we need to put on top of there. So let's do that right now. All right, guys, so next step is to grab the depth finder, and we're going to be cleaning the surface with our cleaning agent, our alcohol, so that we can put the gel pad on there. All right, so let's do that. Clean that real good. That looks pretty clean. Let's get the gel pad on there. So we're gonna go ahead and take this backing off first. So there is this part here, we're gonna take that off, and we're gonna apply that on, and then we'll take this piece off. All right, so let's do that. Pretty simple, just comes right off. Okay. So we want to make sure that there are no air bubbles on there at all whatsoever. So we're going to put that on there. Nice and easy. There we go. Okay. Now, if you need to, it does come back off. Super easy. All right. That looks good. Okay, we got that done. And there's a film piece here that we need to take off, a little plastic piece. So let's do that. It's there somewhere. A little tricky. There it is. It's on there. There we go. Little bugger. Okay. That looks good. All right. Next. All right, we got it on there. So next step is to put it in the bracket, put it in its new home. Let's do that now. Okay, and remember, there is only one way that this can go, all right? So let's get that in there. Okay. I'll get this in there. So if we just press that in, it clamps right in. There we go. That's in there. Both sides have locked in. Can you guys see that? So we got that side locked in and this side. All set, good to go. So you can see where I situated the depth finder. I didn't put it too close to the hole here because this cord needs room, right? And you don't want to go too far back that way because then this cord would be too close to the hole here. So you just want to make sure wherever you put the bracket, you do a little test run by putting in this first so you have room to make sure this cord pulls out so it doesn't get stuck anywhere in here. All right? So, and we got plenty of room, so we're looking good there. So now, next step is get this plugged in. Let's do it. And this is the wiring harness that we're just gonna plug right into it. So there's only one way it can go in, and you see the clamp on this side, and it'll go right into here. So let's put that in there. And there we go. It clicked, so it's locked. So that's good. That's all set. So the next step is to take the other part of the harness and plug it into the diagnostic area. We're going to take all of this, we're going to zip this up and get it all situated here in a minute, but I just want to show you the next step is to get all of this plugged in, and it's actually very, very simple. Okay, I'm kind of straddled over the engine bay here, so we're going to go ahead and unplug this first. So little lever here and just wiggle that out. There we go. All right, that's out. And we're gonna replace its look-alike, put it right in there. So let's get that out of the way. A moment here to move that. Okay, and then we'll put this one in. It can only go one way. It's a little tight in here, as always. Okay, I think we got it. Good. All right, we're in. Now, the original that we just took out will go right into here. So let's do that. And it only goes one way. So can't get these connections wrong. Fun to play with though. Here we go. Good. That clicked in there, so we know we're good. All right. Connected. Connected. Now for the fuse. Let's get that right here. Okay, so the tool that we need for the fuse is an E8. Yes, we're going to use an E8 and we'll get that on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove that and we'll just get that on there. And then we'll tighten all this stuff down with zip ties. So let's do that now. Okay, we got that out. What we're gonna do is put this like so. And that's where we're gonna plug it back in. So we'll get this started through first. And let's get that tightened down. Okay. Nice and snug. Okay, I gotta get myself unstraddled from this machine. You should see me. I look ridiculous. See? Don't I look ridiculous? Just trying to get you guys the best shots, honestly. Really. A little uncomfortable. The last shot to get you this shot, I was like this. Sitting on the open engine bay. All right, nonetheless, all right, this looks good. We are connected. Everything's connected, and connected. All right, guys, let's get all of this stuff zip tied and looking neat. So before we zip tie all the wiring, we gotta put the hose back in where it came from. And all the other hoses that we moved around, let's get those zip tied back up. Let's do that right now. Okay, we'll start from this end. So we've got these hoses that we need to put back. So we'll take that out of there. And we need to get this hose back over here, and we just got to zip tie those two back together. And as we do that, we want to make sure that we still have our wiring harness and everything. So I may just unconnect this and get this under the hose. There we go. And then we'll connect that wiring harness to here, and then we'll make our connections all the way up across. So let's do that. Get those in there. Good. That looks good. The depth finder here, so we're going to replug that back in. Click. All right. Okay. Looking good there. So what we're going to end up doing to make sure this isn't bouncing around and everything, we're going to zip tie that to this hose right here and zip tie it to here and go from there. That looks good. And so that we don't have this flying around, we are gonna go right here and put that one in. Okay, so I like where everything is at. Make sure all these are nice and snug, because we got to get the intake hose back in, so we're going to go ahead and make this nice and neat. Okay, next, let's get the big guy in there. All right, so we want to make sure that we got this side on first, nice and snug. And then we'll get the other side, make sure that's fully connected. So we'll come around on this side. That one's on there, so we're gonna get this one snug first. Okay, that's nice and tight. Let's get the other side. That is nice and snug. Okay, that was easy. Got that back in there. Next, quick overview. We still got all of this extra wire to zip tie up. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of work backwards here a little bit and get all this secured, and then we'll just do a quick coil up here and we'll get it zip tied back in here to keep that nice and neat. So let's do that now. Let's get this situated. And once again, I'm straddled over the machine, but best placement. I'm comfortable. All right, I'm gonna do one right here. Make sure it has enough room to move, but not, right? Okay, there's that. Now all the excess, let's get that coiled up and ready to go. And that's it. All right, so we got this all coiled up right here. And we have it zip tied on both sides just to make it nice and neat. And there we go. To keep things neat, here we go. Let's get these trimmed. And there we have it. Boom. Okay, so welcome back. I had to take a quick break from this how-to video because I have to be honest with you. When I showed I was buttoning everything up, I did test it, but the results were not in my favor. But I have heard that sometimes it takes a while for the diagnostics to connect, I guess, with everything, something brand new that's being put in. So I tested it, it didn't work. I tested it and didn't work. I gotta be honest, got a little frustrated. So I'm back and we're gonna test it right now. I don't wanna be that type of person to say, well, it's not testing right, so let's just do it in the water on another video. Well, what if you get super busy and you don't get a chance to come back and go, hey, what were those test results for the depth finder? You never get a chance to come back. Well, I don't want that to happen. I always want to be able to be a person that's going to deliver results in these videos. That's why they're called how-to videos, not how to hold and then hopefully it'll work later. No. So no matter the result, whether it's a positive result, the outcome was great, or a negative result, you guys have to know what the results are, because otherwise you wouldn't be tuning into these how-to videos, right? Am I right? Okay, perfect. So let's get the test done. Hopefully from what I've heard, it does take a while, like I said, to get all the diagnostics ready so the machine can actually, I don't know, learn, right? So let's go ahead and do that right now, guys. And whether it's a negative or positive result, let's do it. All right, so what we gotta do is the directions call for to plug this in first. We'll do that. And then just tap on the start button just so it kind of wakes up a little bit. And then we gotta watch the dashboard. So let's do that. So what we're supposed to do is hit this arrow button right here. So let's hit that and let's see what happens. Arrow, arrow, RPMs, arrow over, arrow over. Interesting. Nope. Well, okay, so that was not the result I was looking for. So let's maybe just unplug and replug and let's see what happens. Okay, so that was a negative result. So I'm gonna unplug the diagnostics, replug them in, and see if we can reset it that way. All right, so we got that unplugged. We unplugged everything up here. Everything's plugged in, plugged back in, and we removed the key. So let's see what happens next. So in order to get a somewhat accurate reading, so here's what I did. I just took this guy right here from the Sea-Doo itself, emptied the contents out and put it right underneath where the depth finder is. Strange enough, that's what the directions tell you to do. Nothing happened, so let's try it again. I've got that wedged right underneath, directly where the depth finder is. All right, I promise I did something similar to that the other day. I just put a bucket on the ground, but I don't know. I think it just needs something to bounce off of, so let's give it a try. Here we go. Okay, so there is our LCD screen. So what we're supposed to do now is use our right arrow button. So let's see that. Let's see what happens. Right arrow button. And here we go. Right arrow. Oh, there it is! 3.5. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. We got it. I'm gonna arrow over again. So it says settings. I'm gonna arrow over again. RPM. Depth. Look at that. Oh, yeah! Victory, guys. We got it. We got it. Well, there you go. I wasn't gonna leave you hanging. I gotta tell you, it took a couple of tries, so that was amazing. Okay, the depth finder, it does work. You just gotta give it a few tries, I guess, and maybe just unplugging and replugging, letting it set, and then plugging the key back in, doing it step by step, got everything to work. Hallelujah. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Holy smokes. All right. We got it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited. Now I can get on the water with a clean heart and mind and saying, the problem has been fixed. Like I said, guys, I never want to leave you guys hanging on these how-tos. If I can't fix it, I've got to fix it and come back and say, hey, this is the deal. And let you know, it was actually, it was that simple. But I guess there's just patience, patience, patience on what was needed to get the final step done. Because I have heard a few times that sometimes it just doesn't connect right away. So today was the day. All right. So that is it, guys, for this how-to. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've got a huge surprise for you guys. You guys remember these, right? Uh-huh. Do you remember the last install that we did on my friend PJ Ski? Okay guys, that is it for this how-to project. Wow. One thing I learned, which I thought I learned a long time ago, is called patience. Every day's a new day, guys. All right, guys, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, and give us any feedback. And we'll appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in today. Until the next time, don't forget, make today your best day, because tomorrow just isn't promised. Until next time, I'll see you on the water.